and we will add you to the rotation or add you at the end of the rotation, whatever you're comfortable with. But anyways, it's poetry. It's every Sunday, 5-ish, o'clock-ish. It is free speech, so this is a warning to everybody in here. You can say whatever you want to say, so so use your freedom, but judge your audience. You know how things work. But anyways, I'm gonna be like Eddie, and I'm gonna kick off with a poem like Eddie. This is not one of Eddie's poems, and then afterwards we'll hit this list. But anyways, Corey's gonna film me from right there, apparently. So anyways. This poem is called I Had a Dream About a Pineapple. Tonight, I'd like to kick things off with a positive jam because it's Sunday, we got 4 people on the list, it's poetry, and they got the best food and beer here at the Dakota Ice House. We woke up in the 50s. Tired and torn from 2 world wars, and in the filthy corners of smoky bars and the hungry hearts of disenfranchised souls, we found our home, we found our voice. And while those who had complained about the communists in our midst, those who had not clenched their fist and beat a different drum, howled into the night as they prowled the empty street of that slowly growing cancer some called suburbia. We stumbled through the 60s, found inspiration in drugs and despair in yet another war. Picked up our guitars and wrapped our words around acid melodies, our thoughts torn and tripping, but despite getting handcuffed in Chicago, shot down at Kent State, our blood splattered across the walls of a Hollywood bungalow, we still found the energy to swing our way through the 70s. Cocaine nights and bloodshot mornings, waking up in the wasted arms of a bad economy and a devastating disco strangler. We stumbled through the 80s, and while some made a name, made a life, made some money with that Ojo del Tigre, we hibernated and waited for this winter of waste to give way to a more conscientious spring. We reinvented ourselves in the 90s, slammed violent verse in Chicago, took our anger to the airwaves and advertised our ideas into 1,000 microphones on 1,000 stages. We got bored when we didn't have a slam, so we started our own. We got frustrated when we couldn't find the right words, so we did the wrong thing and stole them from others. We wrote poems that embraced the I, wrote poems that condemned them, wrote poems for the Big Brother Nation. They put cameras on our street corners so that they could watch us. They put cameras in our cell phones so that we could watch each other for them. They put cameras in our microphones to see if there were terrorists hiding in our tonsils. So tonight, I'd like to kick things off with a positive jam, a say yes to change jam. We won't get fooled again jam. This is my blue-eyed soul jam with Bootsy Collins on bass and the sycopated beats of a rhythm nation propelling our politics forward, onward. The bird is the word. Slam is the sport of spoken word. Squidward is SpongeBob's next door neighbor, and even he listens to public radio and wants to know who's gonna sign my next paycheck. I know, I heard him say so myself. So tonight, I'd like to kick things off with a positive jam, because how else are we gonna deal with the fact that we're only 1 week into spring and it's already 90 degrees outside, and it's gonna be miserable this fucking summer, people. Peace.
Traversing rugged terrain, I scale your rugged mountain ridge spine. Find the beauty of wind-carved canyons, defining your form, the shape of you alone, glowing in fiery red light when sun moves to touch stone. Seeking out 7 wonders, the marvels that exist in your world, sights as amazing as ancient pyramids built by secret methods to last for millennia, astounding all who gaze upon them. I want to live in a world of you, staring out at your vast oceans made up from every bead of sweat that accumulated from working while others rested, every tear shed in vain, or at the injustice you see around you, every drop of blood spilled in the war against your inner demons, charting each unknown spot in my atlas, my guide to your every mile, in order to find my way to the journey start, back to the center of your heart. Thank you.
it, Shara. If you're sitting out there going, man, I can do this, the list is right there. Just put your name on the bottom and we'll get you up here. All right, this next poet, he's been slamming for quite a while. He was once, way back in the before times, your 2015, 14, 16, 12, somewhere like that. Your Grand Slam champion at one point. Now he can catch him at open mics and slams all across the city. Please give it up for Da Green Lantern!
How could one moment be so important? One moment. Just as humanity forever changed after the moment we discovered how to master fire, just as civilization forever changed after the moment we split the atom, just as every human changes forever after the death of a loved one, so powerful was my moment with you. It started innocently enough, watching flickering celluloid images of Olympic skaters singing the blues, sharing popped kernels of corn in the obscurity of midnight seats, resting hands in hands, hands on thighs. These were nice moments, but not the moment. Afterwards, traversing lamp-lit lines on asphalt while approaching my car felt easy, felt relaxed, felt right. But it wasn't the moment. That moment came as if it was a universal singularity exploding into existence. There, sitting in my parked car, talking, I looked into your eyes and saw you for the first time. For the first time, I saw you, not her. Your eyes danced as you smiled. Your tongue unknowingly encouraged your lips to stay moist and alluring while playing hide and seek with my lustfulness. This was the moment. This was the moment I saw you for the first time. The moment I saw her eyes were your eyes. And I realized her smile was your smile. No entertainer, no celebrity, no luminary, just you. No diamonds, no baubles, no evening gowns clinging curvaceously to Rubenesque hips. No foundation, no primer, no illusion, no liner. For the first time, I saw you, not her, and felt the same longing within my heart. I saw you, and you were beautiful. I wanted to, ached to, had to kiss you. Not her, you. And after that moment, and the kiss that followed, for me, things would never be the same again.
That's the Green Lantern. Maybe that poem was about me. It's a whole other poem right there.
It was.
All right. This next poet, you can catch them at open mics, slams around the city. They're winning everything that can be won these days. They're going to be competing at the Blah Blah Poetry Spot in Hondros in April at a Texas-wide slam for hundreds and hundreds of dollars. So come out and support them. Please give it up for Cuppycake!
I'm going to the Women of the World next week.
Oh, I did forget about that.
I need all the good vibes for that. That's the first time I'm ever going to a national slam, so. Where's that? So my friendship with MandyCore, with Core, is based off of music. I was raised in Chicago, so this is my piece. So here we go. In response to how we want to go around thinking our words have no weight, I write this letter of heartbreak. I've gone too long acting like I'm not watching, but I see you. I've just been looking the other way, hoping maybe things would change. But enough is enough. So here it goes. Let Kanye be a lesson. Kanye Omari West, why oh why? You have become example of ignorant, hate-chewing puppet, teacher's pet for America. What happens when we don't think mental health matters? Why you stab me in the back with White Lives Matter slogans? That phrase should have said mental health is essential. Because I know life happens. We love our mamas and get divorces and it hurts. But you can't keep pleading insanity with trigger stupid fucking words. Oh, how the big and mighty have fallen from crescendo spitting fire, saying we humble to godlike sampling. And we from the west side, Tri-City and those streets shape us. Streaming, this one here is a beatbox, beat like a heat rock. But now we're here, downplaying you had been writing bangers for rappers who are now out here embarrassed of you, don't want to be seen with you, look the other way near you. Your power of words rose me up to write all about the struggles that make us, that try to break us. And you put our city on the map of lyricists, breathing fresh air into hook and verses, bringing this humble park up front. But why? Why are you feeding this white America more ammo to say we're controversial in all the wrong ways? To say we are gone haywire, should have kept your mouth shut wired. How you start bringing light to how our hoods die from drugs. It's a drug trade out here, but excuse me, sir, do you not take yours out of fear? Went from don't do no press, but I still get the most press, to bring your own look at me, minstrel show mess. Looking nowadays like you forgot you're black, but now black face is the essence you give. Cringe is the least of words I have for you, and I realize now you were talking about yourself when you wrote Heartless. How could you be so cold as a winter wind when it breeze, yo? Saying 400 years slavery was a choice, yo. And when you say we all already know you are straight from the child, I beg you to keep it to yourself like that. Because man, we don't claim you. From college dropout to off the deep end, Jesus walks bears truth, saying most of us at war with ourselves, foreshadowing yourself. I say go back and read from the old Kanye, because I miss the old Kanye. Straight from the go Kanye. I hate the new Kanye, the always rude Kanye, spaz on the news Kanye. Please get some help, Kanye. I hope you let Kanye be a lesson, that we forget to advocate for ourselves, or when we let high waves give us grand egos, that selfish mess gets old and those drops are mighty. You become your own dark shady fantasy, but you forgot that at the end of it all falls down, because nothing's ever promised tomorrow today, right?
Cuppycake. Cuppycake's also representing San Antonio at the Women of the World Poetry Slam in Baltimore next weekend, right? Yeah, so support if you can. All right, so we're gonna run through this list one more time. You can still hop on it if you're out there going, I got something to say. Come put your name on this list and we'll get you up here. But we're gonna run through it one more time. Going back to the top with the man right here filming us all. Please give it up for MandyCore one more time. Metalheads.
And scatter down below the waves of the world. The dwelling place of our love, joy, and compassion is here, but also our hurts. The pains felt at the injustices, unkindnesses, and evils of this world lurk like lampreys at these lowly depths. Let's dive down like pearl divers, holding our breath to gather black and gray oysters, knowing that they contain luminescent pearls. You have to shuck the black, gray hurt of your heart in order to reconnect with yourself. The vivid knacker producing our joys, our anchor, holding us in the stillness despite the gusts and the gales around us. Sink with me, yes, but when we emerge, we will break the surface, gasping for new air to fill our lungs. Our echoes will ring out in the silence. Thank you.
All right. Once again, if you just walked in, the list is there if you want to get up there and say something. We got a couple more poets. I'm going to take a short 10-minute break so you can get some drinks and some food. Then we'll let everybody read one more time before we wrap it up. But next up, once again, welcome back to the microphone, the Green Lantern.
I hate Tarzan. I really do hate him. However, as a child, I would watch him on small black and white TVs during Frosted Flake Saturday mornings. So heroic, always saving Jane, always saving his jungle from those evil-intentioned Europeans and Africans. But then I got older, and I began to recognize the face of this wolf in sheep's garb. I saw his face as a metaphor representing self-serving colonialism. Europeans believed it was their right by their God-given birthright to tame the savages. Someone had to work the gold and diamond mines of Africa. Someone needed to work the crops of the Caribbean and North America, and Tarzan was, still is the face of that ideology. And why do I keep saying things like this? Because they keep making these Tarzan movies. Consider, non-Europeans lived on the continent of Africa for 200,000 years. Then a white man shows up, a white baby shows up, grows up, accepts the kindness of gorillas who protect him so that he can conquer not only the gorillas, but the entire jungle. 200,000 years of Africans, and the first white man who shows up becomes the king of the jungle. 200,000 years, and no scholarly African linguist could learn chimpanzee. But the first white man who shows up not only learns chimpanzee, but all of the animal languages. Which means he must be their king. Sounds like manifest destiny to me, and when someone tries to challenge his rule, he calls on the animals to lay down their lives to protect his kingdom. Come on, man. Tarzan has the audacity to use his subjects as weapons in a war to save his kingdom. Tarzan makes me sick. The same way colonialism makes me sick. The same way this metaphor makes me sick. Tarzan is just an allegory for the God-given right of Europeans to rule this earth. I hate Tarzan. You know what else I hate? I hate King Kong. King Kong. Different screenplays, same plot line, where white is always right. That's the subtext. Now, did you know that in the Kong mythos, Kong ate indigenous African maidens as a sacrifice? The virgins were tied to a post, just like that goat and the T-Rex in Jurassic Park. One day, Kong arrives to eat the dark meat that he always eats. But today, this day, the meat has turned white. He doesn't say, "Oh man, my meat has gone bad. It's spoiled." Instead, he falls in love with that meat. So much so that he's willing to fight biplanes in New York for it. Now think about this. If the goat in Jurassic Park had been white, T-Rex would have spent the entire movie trying to protect it from Jeff Goldblum and his friends. But good thing that cabrito was Latino, brown. I hate King Kong. You know what else I hate? Well, actually, that's another poem.
That was the Green Lantern. All right, next poet up. They're going to Baltimore next week to compete in the Women of the World Poetry Slam. It's going to be intense. There's going to be a lot of people. It's going to be like crazy. So let's like scream really loud and like make them feel the pressure so they can like act it out right here. Next up, competing in the Women of the World Poetry Slam, trying to win it all from San Antonio, Texas, give it up for Cuppycake!
Y'all trying to make me nervous. So I'm not a singer. Anybody who knows my story, I've had throat issues for the last year. but in order to deliver this piece, I have to at least word it out. De la Sierra Morena, cielito lindo, vienen bajando un par de ojitos negros, cielito lindo de contrabando. De la Sierra que morena, not light, not white, but dark. Y un par de ojitos negros, no claros, not blue eyes or green eyes, but dark eyes like yours and mine. Oh, how we love to cherry pick, because these dark eyes don't open doors for me. Moreno means non-white, and this non-white skin forces me to check the colonizer box. White, Hispanic, because I'm tired. I'm tired of muting myself in spaces where my own are not proud of how I speak about the nopales on our heads, or how our most simplest things make us home. We are no longer in the era of blending in to hide and avoid being sent back to the motherlands. Gone are the days we sit on the sidelines and let our country take our best parts and bully us to hide. However, I'm not just coming for the white man. I'm coming for the ones that look like you and me. I'm coming for our country back home that glorifies us as Latinos chingones, but turn the other way when we speak our dialects with curved, sharp tongues or firm, constant roll eyes. Because both my culturas have taught me this. My Afro-Latino in me had family asking me to mask my curly hair in a sea of bland, limp Mexican hair. And my black had me hiding half my identity so I wouldn't be bullied at school for not being enough passing. Because I'm part of two culturas that make the world go round, that bring flavor to the arts, our way of life, and our mainstream and trends. I refuse to hide who I am. This world demands us to mask enough, but gone are the days we aim to be roses when we're meant to be flores de ave de paraíso, birds of paradise, unique and on high demand but still rare. We don't bloom and blossom for no one but ourselves. The motherland can be proud or not. When I wear my nopal en la frente, or when it shows through my heart, or when my roots refuse to hide in dirt that world throws at us. They say in order for things to change, we have to do things we have never done before. So here's for no longer blending in, being quiet, dimming our colors, or becoming simply roses.